Can you tell us a little bit about who you are?
Hi, I'm Alex Berta. I live here in Dover. I'm part of the Dover Public Safety, and I'm also on the Dover City Council.
All right, and can you tell us about the event that's coming up?
Sure, I'm hosting a Dangers of Social Media event and cyberbullying event May 27th at the Stewart County Visitor Center. We're going to have a wide range of people coming in and speaking on, bullying, suicide prevention, cyber prevention, human trafficking, everything that goes along with social media.
Wow. What are some of the dangers children face online, though?
We see oversharing, online predators, cyber stalking, bullying, sextortion. I mean, there's a huge list of things that kids face that we didn't face a long time ago.
Okay, and you're going to be covering all those at your event?
Yep, everything we're going to be covering.
All right, and how many social media apps are there?
There's about 128 of them, give or take, and some of these platforms are things we've never heard of, all the way up to like Facebook.
And we have heard some people talk about oversharing online. Can you explain what oversharing is?
Yeah, so oversharing is where somebody is documenting their day-to-day on social media. This is taking photos of everywhere they go, restaurants, places they visit, their house, they're geotagging them, they're tagging other people in the photos, and they also, we've seen here lately, people taking live video feeds inside their house or around their property. And this allows online predators or whoever's watching them to kind of figure out where you live and what's around your house.
How many predators would you say are online at any given time?
So the FBI estimates there's about 500,000 online predators online every single day. And these aren't just people that we think of online predators that are after children. These are extremist groups, nation states looking to collect information on Americans, online predators that are wanting to hurt children, things like that.
Okay, and you mentioned how these websites they collect information on children, don't they?
Yeah, so a lot of websites that are out there, they collect information on all their users, right? That's how they do targeted advertising. But some websites have gone one step further, and the FTC said you're not allowed to collect information on children. Like, you're just not allowed to do it. But a lot of big corporations have done it. And they've collected information on like what type of products they like, websites that they visit, like in the video links, there'll be a URL if they've clicked on that, how much time they spend on the video. They'll collect a voice sample, so they'll actually collect audio of the child, talking about something. Websites, and they just collect whatever they can. A lot of these companies have been fined for it, but it's still something that happens every day.
How would you think that this information collection would be, bad?
So it's sold, the organizations. So it's sold to people that do advertising and marketing and things like that. And if you have the money for it, you can buy this information. And a lot of people think marketing information like this would cost millions of dollars, but it only costs a couple $100. So if somebody, say on YouTube Kids, said, all right, we have a video and we want to target an audience that watches this video with this product, they could buy the ad space for that. And then your child that watches that video would be targeted by that type of ad.
All right. Okay, and you mentioned human trafficking earlier. Is that and social media connected at all?
They are, so they're hand in hand. Like when we grew up, we were always told, don't talk to strangers, right? Like,
yeah.
We'd be out in public and our parents would say, don't talk to anybody you don't know, go to wherever you're going, come back. Now every kid is connected online and they have strangers reaching out to them all the time, whether it be another child online or an adult. They don't know, who's on the other end of that screen, and they talk to them. We see this in video games and chat rooms, things of that nature. So everybody is connected. So a lot of children that are on, we'll just say Call of Duty, right, that are in voice chats with random groups of people, they don't know who's on the other side of that microphone.
And Would you say that this social media saturated world that we didn't grow up in necessarily as parents is any less or more safe than what we grew up with?
So the world that kids are growing up in today is a lot more dangerous than where we grew up, in the 80s and 90s. Kids today, they're being exposed to things at such a young age that a lot of people our age were never exposed to, at such a young age. Now they're being exposed to drugs, violence, sex, all in a simple search.
Well, how many of these kids do you feel like are being, trafficked worldwide based on this?
Quite a bit. So it's estimated 20 to 40 million children and adults are being trafficked worldwide right now.
Oh, wow. So adults and children.
Yeah. So we see it men, women, boys, girls.
Okay. And what kind of trafficking is there? Is there like just sex trafficking, or what kind of traffics are I guess more prevalent in the United States?
So in the United States, we see sex trafficking and labor trafficking, but there's three different types of trafficking. We have labor trafficking. Those are people who are forced to work in certain conditions. Sex trafficking, we see in the United States, and then in third world countries, we really don't see this one in the US so much, but it's organ trafficking.
Organ trafficking.
Organ trafficking.
All right. But you would probably say that labor and sex trafficking is pretty prevalent in the United States.
It happens in every city, every community. A lot of people think, I live in a small town, it doesn't happen here, but it does happen here. We don't know what to look for. People will pass it, by people on the street or whatever, and that person may be trafficked, they may not be, but to the untrained eye, you don't know what you're looking for.
So basically to them, you would say that there was a price tag basically on any given person could be putting a price tag on your child online at any given moment.
Absolutely.
And who's the largest consumer of all of this trafficking that's happening?
Worldwide, it's the United States.
And so it definitely, we've covered it. 100% happens here, and it could 100% happen to any of our children.
Yeah, it happens in every community or across the globe, not just in the United States. But think about how big our planet is, and this happens everywhere. It's a $150 billion industry. Like, it is the number one in organized crime. It's one of the oldest crimes that's out there, and it. Hopefully one day it does go away, and events like this, hopefully help educate people on how to keep their kids safe so they don't end up in a situation like that.
And do you know whether the trafficking has gotten better or worse over time?
It's become worse over time. Since COVID, a lot of things have changed in our country. Shared Hope does this really great thing where they put out a report card for the United States. Every state has a certain grade, just like A through F, just like a report card. In Tennessee in 2011, we were at a C, right? We're not failing, but a lot of states were. But we're not doing, great. We're barely getting by. In 2018, we were at an A. This is due to, the It Has to Stop program, resources for law enforcement, for hospitals, and then COVID happened shortly after. In 2022, the latest report card, pretty much every state in the country is at an F, where they were at least at a C, and Tennessee still stays at a C. So some resources have gone away. We've seen changes in hospitals, certain care that's provided for women and children and even men has just gone away because the resources aren't there anymore. So my event will be at the Stewart County Visitor Center on May 27th between 12 and 4 o'clock. We'll have several speakers come out. We'll have some food provided by the Dover Public Safety Office, and we're also going to be doing a few raffles.
And is this child appropriate viewing?
It is child appropriate viewing. I do have to warn people, some of the information that's going to be in there might stir up some emotions. I mean, this isn't an easy thing to talk about, but what we are going to be talking about needs to be said.
All right. Well, it's good talking to you.
Thank you.